Welcome to Almost Adults podcast. Da-na-na-na. I'm Trisha,
I'm Arpita.
and so just tell them why we started the podcast. Just do it.
We were on the internet and we saw that everybody was doing a podcast.
And then we came across a concept called free will. So we were like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's jump onto the bandwagon.
Yes, let's do it because we can.
Yeah.
But why a podcast called Almost Adults? What does it mean? What are we going to talk about? Why does it matter that a bunch of like 20-year-old, not a bunch of like just like two
20-year-olds.
two 20-year-old gals are like, let's start a podcast. So we- we're doing it because we figured that like we're 20, we're going through like so much. I mean, also this podcast isn't just for 20-year-olds. It could,
Yep.
I mean, I think we've been relating to like these conversations ever since we were like 18, 19.
Yeah. Maybe before as well.
No, yeah, but we just didn't know each other then. Oh, should we tell them how we know each other?
Yeah.
You go.
So we got into college. We are still in college. But we there was this group that got formed on WhatsApp of all the students in our college who got in that particular year.
Before
And-
college starting.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we found each other through that group. Then we got the same accommodation. We still aren't friends. She's also friends with some people that I did not like at that time. So we were like, don't think this can happen.
And then one day Arpita comes up to me and she's like, "तू मुझे follow क्यों नहीं करती है?"
I don't remember that.
I remember that. And then I followed her, and yeah, it's just been an upward scale.
No, it
With
has
a-
not.
Yeah, with a-
It has been a-
it's been an upward scale. But yeah, so that's how we know each other, and we're very close friends, right?
Yeah.
Are we? Right? Yeah. Anyway, but I think for me at least, one of the major reasons why my friendship with Arpita has lasted, even though like college is about like losing friends, making friends, but this friendship kind of stuck it out for the past like what 2.5 years, because I think like yeah
2.5 years.
yeah whoa it doesn't seem like a lot when you think about it, but like when you think about like the 2.5 years,
Yeah.
it's quite a bit. But anyway, I think it stuck it out because I just remember like going to her room and being like, "Hey, do you ever think about if you're an ethical person or not?" And then she's like, "Yeah, I do actually." And then we would have like a 2-hour chat about it, and then you would be like, "Yeah, anyway, I don't know."
The moment when I realized that we should do a podcast together was when we went out together. We went cafe hopping.
Where?
Uh,
I mean, this is like vague. We've been cafe hopping so many times. Is this back in like January?
Yeah.
February? Okay, yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Yeah, so we went cafe hopping and we were sitting somewhere. Aise hi almost. There was just like a table in between us.
Understood.
And we were sitting palthi maar ke in our different
Understood,
places.
yeah.
And we were talking about a bunch of stuff and like we're going on and on about it. And then at the end, we're just like, so what do we think about this?
Yeah.
And
And
we
I
have-
think we were talking about like what makes you a bad feminist, and oh, does this make me a bad feminist or not? Something like that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. I didn't remember the conversation. But yeah, and at the end, we were both just like, I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, so over time, we've sort of realized that we are at the same wavelength when it comes to thoughts. Also, like, funnily, similar things happen in our life at the same time.
Yeah, like maybe like at a gap of like a month and a half. But
Yeah.
like what happens with me ends up happening with her. What happens with her eventually happens with me. So we never really have to like dig that deep into like, hey, this is happening to me, because I know she's going to understand, and we can just talk about like other important things.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were like, podcast. And I mean, I don't know, we decided to do this like less than 2 weeks ago, and now we're doing it because we're
Yeah.
go-getters.
Actually, so honestly speaking, I have been wanting to do a podcast for like the past 3 years. But like, let's not get into details.
Yeah, but no, I got into podcasts very recently.
Yeah.
I started like sleeping to podcasts. It's been great. I mean, I only listened to like informative podcasts before, just like Three Things,
Yeah.
Indian Express and
Yeah,
stuff.
I got into 3 things because of you.
Yeah, Three Things, highly recommend. Love you, Indian Express. But anyway, I started listening to like podcasts about like absolutely nothing. That you can just listen to when you're doing your laundry or when you're like doing like something that just needs to be done. It just spices things up. But yeah, she's been wanting to do one, and that's why we're doing it. But what are we going to talk about? What are some themes that we'll cover? I don't think we have a watertight plan. We don't have like a
We don't have a plan. Period.
yeah.
But so we wanted to do it because we know we have a lot of thoughts, and it's great when it gets resonated by somebody else as well. So because that has happened for the two of us and we have felt great about it, we thought let's just go ahead and advertise our thoughts.
So let's dive into this recent thought we had, and we ended up talking about it. But I think we'll talk about it more now. And it's about like the duality of your thoughts when you're 20, how there are so many different ways in which you can think it's this or that, and that how it ultimately basically ends up shaping your morality and gives, you know, way to who you will be in future. It could be something as simple as like, oh, like two of my friends are having this fight or this argument, who do I think is right? Or it could be something
Which is not a simple thought at all.
it's not a simple thought at all. But or it could be something really serious like the political state of the world or something. But like
Right.
that defines who you are, that defines your morality. And yeah, and how it's so much more complicated when you're this age.
Yeah, yeah. Because you know, when you're younger, you have these set of ideologies and rules for yourself. For example, oh, I want to do good in the world. I want to uh, never lie, etc., etc. And then you grow up and you sort of realize that you cannot uphold those standards that you set for yourself, anyways. In fact, for yourself or for other people, like either, because you sort of understand that people change and people make mistakes. And one thing that was considered bad isn't necessarily like categorizing that
Objectively
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
And I feel like about this specific thing that you said, that oh, when people make mistakes, is it always bad? And does that define them? I don't think it's really like connected to the topic, but while we're at it, I feel like that is something you only understand when you start growing up.
Yeah.
It's not so like, I feel like when you're growing up, you start believing and start accepting in the gray rather than just the black and the white. And I feel like that's a sign of maturing, that yeah, fuck, you should try to like keep it black and white, but you can't do
You
it.
can't.
There is always white and black and white.
And I feel like when you're younger, you don't even have that understanding that gray areas exist. For you, the existence is limited to black and white. And then you grow up, like as when you're younger, you're sort of asking your parents that, oh, why did you do this, or why didn't you speak up at certain moments? But then you grow up and you realize that it takes a lot of effort and a lot of courage to hold your ground as well.
Definitely.
And especially at the age that we are also formulating our thoughts and our personality and finding a place in this multitude of thoughts that we have going on around the world. And while we're at it, I sort of also think that social media has made it a lot more difficult for you to have one train of thought.
Or like one original thought.
Origi-
Like you could be sitting here and everything, bro. Like we're sitting like this. You've seen it somewhere on social media.
Yeah.
Somebody's done it and you're replicating it.
Yeah.
It's so hard to be original these days.
Yeah, I think we're foraying from the topic that we had, but you know, like the whole the advent of the cringe ideology that everything that you're doing is cringe. Like right now, we were sort of having that discussion that oh my god, we're starting this podcast. What if people have like
What if people think we're cringe, but like I'm cringe, but I'm free? Yeah, but anyway, back to the topic.
yes.
I remember like us talking about how when you're younger, it's always so like, oh, I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna make lots of money, and I'm gonna change the world. I'm gonna make the world a better place. There will be no poverty, there will be no hunger, there will be no, yeah.
Which is still ideally what I would want for the world.
But I think when you realize that you, it's not that you can't do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. That's a very pessimistic way to think about it, and that's not something we do here. But I think maybe you can't do it at a scale that you would imagine, like
Yeah.
as a kid.
Also, not just the scale, also the timeline that you imagine. For
Yeah,
yourself.
like by 25. Yeah, you will never have a hungry day because we've got you. Like, yeah. And I have a house and I have a job and I have a perfect body. and everybody loves me. But yeah, that's fucked up. But also that when you, I think when that like hint of reality hits you, that's when you sort of try to find more realistic manners. And I think our 20s are sort of about getting comfortable with that wait, I can't change the world. In fact, I can't even change myself very quickly.
That's an uncomfortable thought. But for example, when I was 14 or 15, my life goal was to open an orphanage or a dog shelter and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get a job and I'm going to make sure that I get money from there to be able to do all of these things. But now, when I'm actually on the verge of starting to earn for myself, I'm like, I need to serve myself first. And maybe that is selfish. Maybe as you grow up, you become more selfish. But the thought is also, it's so unsettling because you've grown up as a certain person and then you realize that you're not that person.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do about it? And the other thing that was around this theme of duality of thought was that you have so much dialogue going on around your head at all times. On some days you're supposed to figure out everything about yourself when you're 20. On the other hand, people are like, oh, you're just 20, you have all your life
You're only
ahead.
20.
Yeah. One day they'll be like, oh, you are just about to start your career, have your first job. It's a very serious thing. It's your first job in the world. And then the next moment
It's
you're
only
like,
your first
it's
job.
just your first job.
Who
You
cares
have
what
time
your
to
first job?
experiment.
Yeah.
So it creates so much pressure on you. Again, I'm sure this thought has been thunk before.
Yeah.
But I'm experiencing that pressure right now. And I know you are too. And I know like a lot of people around us are as well. And even though we've heard it from people, we might have heard it, we might not have heard it, whatever. From parents, from other mentors, etc., etc. But you don't really realize it.
Until you experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's one major component of it. Like, oh, you're only 20 versus like, bro, you're 20. Like,
Yeah.
like 2 decades of your life have already passed. But I think for me, it's a bit more different when I say I have like, or like I experience duality in my thoughts. For me, it's more like, hey, this is happening in this part of the world. and or like this is happening in this part of my country, and there are like people saying it's okay, there are people saying it's not okay at all, and at the end of the day you realize that both of those sides have a reason for saying what they're saying. None
Yeah.
of them are completely wrong or completely right.
Yeah.
But it's so sad that we live in a polarized world, so much so that nobody ever acknowledges that, hey, they're wrong, but I think they're wrong, but they're also a little bit right. Nobody is interested in any of that. And in that stage, it's so difficult for you to find, your calling. Like, what do I really think? And then on top of that, you have social media telling you 10 different things and just
Yeah.
confusing you more.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if I don't know if people ever get out of it. Like, is it that, I mean, when you're kids, you don't have it, right? But when you're 20, you start experiencing it. But I want to know if this ends at a point, do you start thinking in a more like streamlined manner after a point, or is this just the start with no end, that this is how I'm going to think forever?
I mean, I think we would have had an idea about it if the adults in our lives would actually, for a moment, pause and accept that this is their first time living life too. And I mean, I understand the pressure that they have as well, because they have the responsibility to make sure that we are good people. So it makes sense that they don't want to accept accept in front of us that they might be flawed, or their
They might have made
ideologies
mistakes.
might be flawed.
Oh yeah.
But at this point in time, it feels like maybe this is how we are going to live.
Be forever.
Yeah.
And it's not a very comforting thought.
It's not, but I feel like with time, at least I have grown more and more comfortable with it.
For
That,
sure.
okay, there's going to be a lot of thoughts and a lot of confusion and multiple scenarios. And maybe it will be life changing, maybe it will not.
Maybe it's just something really trivial.
Yeah, it could be something very, very trivial, but at that time it feels like a big deal.
Yeah,
And it
for
feels like,
sure.
oh, this is going to be life changing for
sure.
me. So I think the point is to just grow comfortable with that idea. But I feel like simultaneously, growing comfortable might be confused for getting desensitized to what is happening around the world.
I don't understand.
After a point when you've heard so many different opinions and so many clashes about every single topic,
Yeah.
you sort of start taking the approach that, okay, this is happening, I need to go on with my life. This is more of I feel like in the larger picture, but also in an everyday life. Oh, I lost the job. Okay, move on. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is. It could be that there's a lot of pressure to always just be happy and like positive about everything else, so you don't really get the time to sit down and grieve. Or it could just be that we are actually becoming insensitive towards major life events.
I don't know if that's how I think. I do think like a part of it is sort of trying to, or not trying to, but like a part of it does get us desensitized with so much happening, and sometimes you're just like, bro, I don't have the energy for this. It's so overwhelming. You just
Right.
want to like, if you're like watching the news, or if you're going through like the headlines, there's so much happening. 10 different people telling you 10 different things.
Right.
Yeah, you just want to be like, bro, I'm done. But then there is also the bit about how being able to think from two different sides simultaneously is such a privilege, because it is not something everybody has. I know that. A lot of people are just very happy, comfortable thinking the way that they think, but they just never get to live through that very, very enriching experience to be able to, see beyond yourself.
And I'm glad you used the word privileged, because if you look at the larger picture and if you think about the state of the world, then it is actually a privilege, because you're not the one who's going through it or who's in the middle of it all.
Or fighting for survival, really.
Yeah.
You get to sit here on your sofa and talk about
about
it in
it.
front of a mic. Yeah.
So if you were actually in it, so basically we have the choice to be like, oh, which side am I supposed to pick? And that is the greatest privilege of
Of all,
We
absolutely.
have the choice to actually zone out of it, stop thinking about it, and go on with our daily lives.
Absolutely. I don't, yeah, it's a privilege because you're not forced to take one side just because you're in it. And yeah, that's just, that's just, that's just so unsettling.
Yeah. There's also, if you actually sit down to talk about it and think about it, and then you see how you are leading your life in the middle of whatever is happening in the world. I'm actually getting goosebumps talking about it. But you kind of have the realization that, yes, you're privileged, but you also feel a lot of guilt because of it. That, how am I doing this? And does that make me a bad person?
But then there's that dual side, which is like, bro, मेरी क्या गलती है?
मेरी क्या गलती है, and what am I supposed to do about
Yeah,
it?
and if it were up to me, I wouldn't let this happen. But it
Yeah.
wasn't up to me. Somebody
Yeah.
else fucked this up. So like,
Yeah.
what can I do about it? And this privilege, everything, etc., was not a choice for me. It was given to me.
Yeah.
So I can acknowledge it. But what is guilt ever going to do to me? So
Yeah.
it's just like how we're talking about it, and there's like a duality
Yeah.
right here,
Yeah.
which is, how does one get out of it?
And
Can I just think, like, can I just have one thought about something? Can I just like, can I just be like, and that's what I think. No buts.
That,
No buts.
I do not see that happening
Very,
anytime
very soon. Yeah.
Because we're people who also try to like rationalize everything, and we try to look at things from like dual perspective,
Yeah.
which leaves us in this dilemma all the time. And at the end of it, you're just like, I don't know. I
just don't
what
know.
what's happening.
You're just like, hey, so these people are saying that, and these people are saying that. So do I think. I don't know.
Maybe I don't resonate with either of them, and maybe I have my own chain of thoughts.
At the end of the day, I don't know.
But the polarization of it all makes me kind of want to lean towards one particular idea.
Why does it make you want to?
Because you also sort of want कि resonate करे लोग तुम्हारे perspective से. And you know, you look for that community where your thoughts are
Validated or reinforced.
yeah.
That's the problem, right? That's what polarization is all about. That you're just in like
Yeah.
echo chambers. People are like, yeah. And though that might make you feel great,
Like you belong.
yeah, you belong, but at the end of the day, it's your loss because you don't know what their truth is.
Yeah.
You don't know what somebody else's truth is.
Yeah. And again, coming back to social media, I think it has just like made it so possible for people to feel like they belong in a community, because very easily one thought can be processed and over processed and just distributed amongst people.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, for sure. I also feel like social media is such an easy escape for
Yeah.
for people to like associate themselves with a group
Yeah.
they don't actually associate with. Have you seen those t-shirts that say, or like those memes that say like 6'3" feminist? Those, I don't know, bro. So they're like these t-shirts. They'll be like these posts of like guys saying, I'm a feminist, by the way. So that just means that they want to associate with this
Yeah.
ideology, not because they believe in it, but because like it gets them in a certain kind of group and they're interested in the people in that
Or
group.
just,
Like,
you know, women
you haven't
being
seen those. You
anti-feminists.
haven't seen those.
No, I haven't.
6'3", I'm a feminist, by the way. No. So the real quality is
I
that
feel
this.
like I have like heard about it,
Yeah.
heard people saying it.
Yeah.
Out of context, they'll just be like, "Oh yeah,
I'm
just by the way."
I'm a feminist, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those. That's just like a really like, also like in the news I've seen sometimes people who like work with organizations or like, you know, have openly associated themselves with some sort of ideology end up doing some really bad, nasty stuff that that ideology that they work for does not propagate at all. That ideology is in fact working against it very, very hard. Um, because it's social media and you can just lie. You can write a post about,
And
hey,
you know
we should
how,
respect each other, but actually you don't have to do it.
and the fact that there's no wall between what we're talking about right now and what our phone is capturing, and how it will rewrite our algorithm on the
Yeah.
basis of that.
Yeah.
It's just another reason as to why everything that we're saying will get validated at the end of the day.
At the end of the day,
Because
even if I
abhi
say I hate Instagram is going to show me content
that will be
validating
like
that,
कि,
yeah,
oh
Instagram is so
yeah,
bad.
you need to log off and you need to go and connect with the real world or whatever. Like, I'll talk about something right now and then I'll go back home, I'll open my phone and I'll start
Yeah.
scrolling, and it'll be the same thoughts. So there is no escape.
And there'll be some stupid product about it also. Like, I don't know how you're making a product about, I don't know. I'm sure we're going to get like ads about podcast mics and stuff when we go back.
Yeah.
It's scary. I think we should do like one episode about like our relationship with social media
Yeah.
and what we do to sort of keep it all chill and all healthy and not let it
Deleted.
cross that boundary. um yeah, to cross that boundary. I just got caught up in your deleted so much. Yeah, but anyway, so what were your key takeaways? What did you like about this conversation? And I'm gonna call it a conversation because this is a conversation for me. It's
It
a
is.
podcast for you, but it's a conversation for
It
us.
is a conversation. What are my key takeaways? Wow, you've put me on the spot now.
Yeah. Fine, I'll tell you mine.
Okay.
I think I learned that there is no. I mean, I feel like I feel a bit like secure with the. Hey, I don't think this is ending anytime soon, because I thought it's just me who has this like fear that like, oh, this is how I'm gonna think for the rest of my life. So I feel like, okay, yeah, there's probably a light at the end of the tunnel. Not that I think it's a bad thing necessarily. And what else did I learn? I learned that I want to really talk about like relationship with social media. So I'm gonna force you later.
Okay. I think for me, it was the fact that I actually was able to openly admit to myself and to you and to whoever might end up listening to us.
Because we have such a big following and we have like a large group of people just waiting for our episode.
To validate their thoughts. But anyways, I was able to just admit this to myself that I am not the person that I used to be, and maybe that I am becoming more selfish as I grew up, and that might not be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, and I think that's it for this episode.
Yeah, and I hope you have some food for thought.
We will be back with some other interesting takes on other interesting things, and we hope you liked it.
Yes, and that conversation is one of many conversations because of which we are almost adults.